This is a Sports Catastrophe production. Hey there, how there, ho there. It's Jeff Cutter Diamond. Welcome you to another Sports Catastrophe birthday boy. Lost my place for a minute there. Anyway, this guy is a Japanese baseball pitcher who pitched 16 years in Japan and 7 years in Major League Baseball. He's actually a color commentator, critic, reporter, and a YouTuber. YouTuber? Really? Anyway, this guy is known as the monster of the Heisei era and DiceK in the United States. He played for Boston and the Mets in the Major League Baseball, and then for Saitama, Fukuoka, and Chunichi in Nippon Professional Baseball. He was known as the MVP of the 2009 World Baseball Classic and also 2006. So he has two-time MVP of the World Baseball Classic, which has gotten a lot of traction nowadays. His name is Daisuke Matsusaka. Matsusaka is now 43 years old. He was born in Koto Ward, Tokyo. He studied kendo and then played baseball while he was in 3rd grade. He went to Yokohama High School, a baseball powerhouse, and was the ace pitcher. So, of course, he got his team to win the National High School Baseball Invitational Tournament, the Spring Koshien. The Summer Koshien was the big one, and he led the school to the championship. He allegedly threw a 250-pitch, 17-inning game against Pio Gakuen. And the previous day, he threw 148 pitches and a shutout. And in the final, he threw a no-hitter. Lots of scouts were there. And all that. Saitama had the first pick in 1998 and took him. There were rumors that Colorado and Arizona were going to try to recruit him and bring him to Major League Baseball. He stayed in Japan. He went to play for Yokohama. He wanted to work for a company, and after which he could choose the team of his choice through the reverse draft system. However, the manager of Saitama met him for dinner and gave him a winning ball he had for his 200th win. So Osamu got Daisuke to stay in Saitama. Saitama would lead the Nippon Professional League in wins and was named Rookie of the Year. Like, if you don't lead the league in wins as a rookie, you don't get the Rookie of the Year. That's stupid. But anyway, yeah. But Daisuke, as a member of Saitama, actually struck out Ichiro, who was playing for Oryx at the time, and got 3 strikeouts and 3 at-bats. All that. Anyway, Matsusaka started the All-Star game as a rookie in '99 and did pretty well. He was 16-5 and won Rookie of the Year in the Pacific League. The Pacific League and the Central League are like the American League and National League in Major League Baseball. Daisuke was trying to help Saitama take care of Seibu. Oh, that's what I meant. Seibu trying to take down Yomiuri Giants, who are basically like the New York Yankees. Anyway, Matsusaka was terrible in Game 1. He gave up 2 key home runs. And the Giants swept Seibu. Matsusaka did win 16 games in 2003 and was given the Pacific League ERA title of 2.83 mark. So yeah, so he led strikeouts in 2000, 2001, 2003, 2005 in Japan, and then led the league in wins in 99, 2000, 2001. So he was there for Seibu. But Scott Boras, the major agent, if I call him, was announced to have any contract dealings in the major leagues, and then the posting system happened, and Seibu gave him permission to try to go to America. Boston won the bid for over $51 million, outbidding Texas, the Mets, and the Yankees. Boston signed him to the deal. Otherwise, he would have went back to Japan. Anyway, DiceK would wear number 18 for Boston. And it is actually worn by the ace of the pitching staff of Japan, number 18. His first Major League start was in Kansas City against the Royals. He struck out 10, walked 1, and looked pretty good as the Red Sox won 4-1. His Fenway Park debut, he lost to Felix Hernandez of the Mariners, who had 2 former Japanese stars on his squad, Ichiro and Kenny Jojima. Anyway, he couldn't grip American baseballs, which is actually larger than the Japanese pro ball. All that. His first season, he was 15-12 with a 4.4 ERA. But Boston made it to the LDS to take on the Angels. DiceK had a terrible start. Fortunately, though, the Red Sox won that game. His second game was Game 3 of the ALCS against Cleveland in Cleveland, and he was mediocre. Cleveland ended up winning the game. But DiceK in Game 7 pitched well for 5 innings, getting Boston the 11-2 crushing win over Cleveland. Crushing Cleveland in a sense because Cleveland was up 3-1 in that LCS. People forget about that. But the Red Sox did it. And then DiceK played in Game 3 of the World Series in Colorado at Coors Field and took down the Rockies 10-5. He even had a 2-run single off Josh Fogg, which was huge, making him the 3rd Red Sox pitcher in World Series history to get 2 RBIs. The others, Babe Ruth in Game 4 of the 1918 World Series and Cy Young in 1903. DiceK was the first Japanese pitcher to start and win in a World Series. The Red Sox won the next day in Game 4. So anyway, he took his 17th win in September of 2008, which actually broke Hideo Nomo's record for most wins by a Japanese pitcher. He took 4th in the Cy Young vote. All that. But unfortunately, his control problems would hurt him. He pitched Game 2 of the LDS against the Angels and did pretty well for himself. But in the ALCS against Tampa, he didn't really do so well. Or so we thought. In Game 1 against Tampa, he actually no-hit Tampa for 6 innings, but Boston won the game 2-0. But on home turf, he got rocked. If it wasn't for Boston's miracle comeback, I don't know what would be. So DiceK was 1-0 with a no decision and then LCS. Despite all that, Tampa won Game 7 on home turf. Anyway, DiceK helped Japan win the 2009 World Baseball Classic, as it did in 06. He reported spring training, and unfortunately, he was on the DL for a while. Unfortunately, he had some big problems. A lot of people said DiceK's injury problems in 09 was because of his high number of innings pitched early in his career in Japan, and a vigorous personal training regimen. Wait. Actually, DiceK said he had injured his right hip while training for the World Baseball Classic, and asked why he concealed it. I didn't want to be the center of concern for people. The Classic was hard. I needed my wits and shoulder strength. And apologized to Red Sox fans. DiceK would go 9-6 in the 2010 season, and then he would have Tommy John surgery. He was 1-7 with an 8 ERA in 2012, was a free agent, and Cleveland said not to take him. So he signed to a minor league deal with Cleveland, reuniting with Terry Francona. But he didn't make the opening day roster. So for a few months, well, he was in the organization until August 20th, 2013. And then 2 days later, the Mets signed him to a deal and joined the rotation. He was 3-3 with a 4.4 ERA, and then signed a 1-year minor league deal to stay with the Mets. But on April 16th, he got to the majors, replacing John Lennon. Anyway, Matsusaka was a good candidate to be the closer, but they gave him a start anyway. After the 2014 season, he went back to Japan to play for the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. He would play for the Farm Club in 2015, and then in 2016 he pitched in his first Japanese pro game in 10 years, pitching 1 inning, giving up 2 runs. He was released. Chunichi signed him to a deal. All that. He was actually was given the 2018 Comeback Player of the Year award because of a 6-4 mark. He had to go through cervical spine surgery and then re-signed with Seibu. He only walked one. He pitched to one batter walking him, and then he had a ceremony when she retired. But DiceK in 2006 and 2009, World Baseball Classic won both times for his name MVP, and did not want to play in 2013 for some strange reason. They got to the semis but lost to Puerto Rico. So DiceK pitching had the 3/4 arm slot and a drop and dive motion. DiceK has 2 kids. And anyway, he would be a charity guy. So DiceK, we salute you with a bow. He was a good Japanese pitcher, like Hideo Nomo, who I did days ago. So that's what happens. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. Sayonara.